It was what? A couple of 3 weeks after I went off on the sick. With what? Mental health problems. My head had finally gone. Yeah, Marmite, the guy that shifted across the production line to stand in for me while I was off. Yeah, he had his pelvis crushed by the machine he was working on. Could have quite easily have been me. He was doing my job. And I know he wasn't the first, and I doubt he'd have been the last. It's kind of an occupational hazard on there, you might say. I mean, in the time I was employed by them, there was at least 2 fatalities. I mean, I always knew it could be dangerous working on a shop floor. Never worked in an office or out like that. Never had that comfy chair. Doing one of them bullshit jobs where I'm pushing papers around or juggling numbers around on a spreadsheet to fill 40 hours of a week. And I used to find myself sat down the pub and you'd be chatting with someone and they'd be telling you about what a tough day at the office they'd had. How it was hard work. And by the time you found out what they actually did, you just left thinking to yourself, you get paid for that. I still remember clear as a bell, standing in the smoking shelter one morning, chatting about one of the lads from one of the other departments who picked up the wrong airline by mistake, and as a consequence had ended up with a frisbee-sized piece of steel removing most of the top of his head. He'd been dead less than 2 or 3 hours and we all joked about it. Why? Because we all knew it could have been any one of us. Not necessarily the same accident, but the same outcome. And if you couldn't laugh at it, how the hell are you going to walk back onto that shop floor? Been out of employment now for just over 10 years because of my mental health. And the government's just getting nastier and nastier. Paying private companies bonuses to find the most tenuous excuses to take money from the sick and the disabled. Now there's a sweet job if you can get it. I do voluntary work now though. Try and do at least 2 or 3 days a week, mostly on the local scout camp. It's my way of giving something back. Not just to the scouts for all the years I was involved as a kid, but to society in general. You know, it's not like this breakdown was ever part of some grand life plan. But even then, for all I get out of it for my health, you know, I'll still find myself talking about it merely as just a way of justifying what meagre benefits I get. Left feeling as though society doesn't really have any time for me anymore. You know, if they could get away with giving me now just to reduce their tax bill, they would. You know, it'd be cheaper for them if I was just dead. I'm a straight white male. And the majority, apparently. The patriarchy. Part of that one group that stands accused of causing all this trauma for all of these centuries. I'm a working class lad from Stoke. I only got the vote 100 years ago too. But I don't remember the media making much of a song and dance about that centenary. I don't even know if working class man has the faintest idea what he is anymore. What he's supposed to do. What is my purpose? As a working class male, what is my function? We don't really make anything anymore. All the pits have gone. Steelworks has gone. Most of the pot banks have left. Christ, we're not even in a constant state of war anymore. At least then I'd be cannon fodder. We watched as they ripped the industry out of the country. Sent it abroad so they could make more money for themselves. And then we saw also how little shit they gave about the rest of us. But I keep doing my volunteering. Gets me out of my flat. Gets me outside. Helps me to keep at least halfway sane. And gives me some time in the outdoors doing some graft. And yeah, it's no less physical and in some ways no less dangerous than previous jobs I've had. But this is real work. This is work with heart and with passion. This isn't just job. And as well as the bit of groundskeeping I help with, I'm now, after a massive, vast amount of support from the manager there, I'm a qualified instructor. No employer would have ever shown that level of patience. No employer would have ever offered that level of support. Not what they did. Work. Work, it's good for you. It's good for the mind, it's good for the body, it's good for the heart, and it's good for the soul. Work is. Jobs. Yeah. Jobs will crush you.